In this video, I'm going to talk about something that to me is really important and I think really powerful. I'm going to share my basis strategy for having homes around the world. And I'm also going to share my strategy for exactly how I plan to travel around the world in the coming years. A lot of people have asked about this. Even a lot of people in the Nomad community are confused about exactly what I'm putting together for my life in the coming years. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the exact strategy that I've put together. Here we go. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson. One of the things that I talk about here on the channel and more in depth with folks that I'm helping is how do you want to live and all the different ways that you can live. A couple years ago, I wrote an article called 4 Ways to Be a Nomad Capitalist in terms of the lifestyle component. And on one end, you had the expat lifestyle, basically. This is the kind of person who moves to Dubai. And while that person is generally moving for a job, it's possible that if you're an entrepreneur and you just want to find one tax-friendly place to live, you might go and live in Dubai. You might go and live in Panama City or in Kuala Lumpur. And that just might be where you're at. Maybe you take a 1 or 2 week vacation every year. Maybe you take an occasional business trip, but that's basically your home city, right? And then on the other end is what I spent years of my life doing, which is the perpetual nomad, the real perpetual traveler. It's go, go, go. I remember one time saying, if only I could be in 3 different cities a month, that would be like bliss for me, because I would always get out right before I got annoyed, and I would always be learning a lot about new places. And then, of course, there were different options in the middle, okay? The challenge, I think, when people look at creating a nomad capitalist lifestyle is there are so many different titles and so many different ideas out there. There's digital nomad, perpetual traveler, many different things. And so people are often confused about the pace. Okay. Have you seen this before? Comment below. The pace being, do I slow travel? For some people, I like to spend 3 months in a place and then go on. Anything more is too fast. Or 6 months in some cases. Some people like 1 year in a place, so they're basically an expat, but every year they switch where they're an expat. Okay. Other people, their idea of perpetual traveler is every month I'm in a new place. Or again, even the extreme is every week. We had one person we were working with, this guy lived on a plane. It was crazy seeing this guy bounce around. And so my busiest month ever, I think, was May of 2017, where I started the month in Poland. I went to Georgia. I went for my last trip to the United States. I hadn't been there in years. I went there for a week, came back to Poland, came from there to Dubai, went to went to Sydney, then went to Vanuatu, then went back to Belgrade, all in the course of 30 days, Belgrade, Serbia. That was pretty intense, and I vowed right then and there, I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to start putting together my staff to where they get to go to Vanuatu and do the research. But let me tell you what I've come up with, right? As you know, my approach, I've talked about the trifecta approach. And the trifecta approach, I think, is a great middle ground for people who want to dip their toe in. They want the tax benefits of living overseas without getting mired in a tax system. Now, there is sometimes some tax planning involved. Don't just take that as if you follow a trifecta, you'll never have to pay taxes. There are some planning involved. But the trifecta system is a tax-advantaged way to see a few different places that you like without having to constantly traipse around the world. And what I've decided to do is buy homes in my trifecta basis. Because what I've learned is, for me, the things that motivate me and the things that keep me productive are, I like nice scenery. I like having art hanging. And I'm here in my house and I'm waiting for some of the art to come in. I feel a little, I don't feel anxious, but I'm really eager for all the art that I'm having made to come and be installed so I can really feel at home. And so only by buying a home do you get to knock out walls and redo the tiles or redo the floor or, hang up art, throw a nail in the wall wherever you want, change the awning. I like to buy a home. Even if it's not always the best investment, I'm making an investment in myself. I made an investment in a home in Malaysia. I don't know that house is rocketing up in value anytime soon. I think in the long term it might. But I made an investment in myself to say, you know what? I don't want to have to pay rent every month. I don't want to have to deal with a landlord. That's going to be annoying. I want to be able to do whatever I want with the house and redo the kitchen and all of that. And that's going to make me productive. So I'm making an investment in myself. And so by doing that, I'm going to have 3 different homes in each of my trifecta bases. Now, for me, Asia is Kuala Lumpur. Europe is right now Montenegro. And I'm actively seeking for that Latin America base. I haven't always been a big Latin America guy, but I'm back on track for Latin America. And the beauty of this for me, and I think for a lot of folks, is that you go to Asia, you spend 4 months, and by the time the 4 months is up, you're a little like, all right, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to move on to the next thing. Then you come to Europe and you're refreshed, right? And it's like, oh, wow, okay, this is more like what I'm used to where I grew up. And then you spend your 4 months, and then eventually, you get tired of your fish has endless bones and, people or, whatever. And then you go to Latin America and you're fired up again and it's interesting and you can speak the language and that kind of thing. So for me, the approach is basically having real estate where I spend time. And so what I found over the years is I used to spend, hundreds of nights a year in hotels. I was a hotels guy. Why? Because hotels, I found, offered a greater level of consistency than an Airbnb. I wanted to be able to go to the Ritz-Carlton and know exactly basically what the decor was going to be. It may be somewhat boring, but it had the decor that I wanted and made me feel calm and productive and able to get work done and just be happy, right? And I found that was more difficult to do in Airbnbs. I just wanted to go to the hotel and just eliminate all the madness. What I learned, however, getting to the highest levels of elite status with corporate hotel chains is just how inconsistent their service product is. And that frustrated me, to be constantly have people, bothering you and making mistakes and saying, oh, we'll try our best. And it's just not me, right? We contacted the hotel where I'm planning on having a honeymoon, and I got a 2-page email from them, basically that said, yeah, if we can help you, we will. It's just not me. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to cut out the $50,000 or $60,000, maybe even more, that I was spending on hotels every year, and I'm going to go out and take that and buy homes. And at least the homes, even if they don't go up in value, I'm getting a return on not staying in hotels when I travel. So here's what I've done. I've decided to have kind of the base. Okay, you have your trifecta. So you have your 3 places, and it may take you a while to find those 3 places. You might start with 1, and then you might spend the other time traveling. Okay, maybe you decide Kuala Lumpur for 4 months in the winter, but then you want Europe, and you're going to spend those 4 months traveling around Europe and trying places until you find the one that you want, and then you buy the property, or whatever your 4 places are. They don't have to be in different corners of the world. Okay, but for me, that's what it is. And so I have the 3 homes. They're paid for. You don't have to worry about them. I have my online banking set up. I pay if there's any management fees. It doesn't cost me a lot. And I leave them empty. Okay? I don't want people traipsing through my apartment because my apartment, or my home in some cases, it is my own Ritz-Carlton hotel room now, except I do it exactly how I want, and I don't have to deal with the hotel itself. Okay? So that's why I don't want someone coming in and staying there. And yes, I'm leaving some money on the table, but for my peace of mind and for the calm of keeping me motivated to go out and make more money and build the business, it's worth it for me. I don't want to have to worry or wonder what's going on. I just leave it sitting there. And if any of my friends ever say, hey, I'm begging my friends, come on, someone go to Kuala Lumpur, I want you to stay in my house, I let my friends and family stay there if they go there. So those are the 3 bases. And so what I call that is the Tier A homes, okay? This is the first level of homes, if you're going to follow this strategy, that you would build. You'd get your 3 Tier A homes. Those are the main places that you go. And what I've realized is, when I'm going from Kuala Lumpur to Europe, I'm not stopping in the middle. There's a temptation, oh, let's go to India and check that out. Why don't I do that? Well, because in each home, I have exactly the kind of attire, shoes, everything that I need. It's just ready to walk in. I literally have a phone charger right by the door. So I'm not fumbling through my bag looking for, oh, this is the Asian adapter. Where's the plug? How do I get it? In the European home, I have the European plugs. You walk in, you get the little table, you plug the phone in 2 seconds after walking in the door. There's no fumbling, there's no mess, okay? And so everything is just ready for you. I have clothes in Montenegro. I leave them here. I have summer polo shirts, I've got shorts, I've got an occasional sweater, but I don't keep all my winter sweaters here because I come here in the summer. And so when I fly from the Asian base to the European base, I'm not stopping in between because my goal is to literally take a laptop bag. I'm not quite there yet, but that's the goal, because schlepping stuff all around the world is a pain, okay? So the process that I'm perfecting right now is, okay, it's like I'm running an airline. Put that on the bag for Tbilisi. That's going there, or take that there. And every home is really self-sustaining. And then when you come, you don't have to pack a bag. You just walk right in and you're ready, okay? Those are your 3 bases. Now, one thing that I've done, because I've accumulated some other things over the years, is I've established the Tier B homes. These are the places where, maybe it's a decent investment, maybe there's a residence program or a citizenship program, and you like the place, okay? You like the place. So I like Tbilisi, for example, and I spent some time living in Tbilisi. I have a little apartment there in the city center, very nice. I kept it. Why? I think in the long run, property prices will go up. I don't really need to put the money somewhere else, so I keep that apartment. I'll spend, not that much time there a year anymore. I used to spend a lot of time there, but now I don't spend so much time. So that's why it's Tier B. I'll go there for the holidays. I'll go there in the summer. I'll see my friends, and I'll have that home. Any home like that will be Tier B. So if you're building like a lake cottage and you barely go there, that could be like Tier B. Tier C would be what I call the Tier C business base. For example, I'm in Montenegro, but I have some business interests in Serbia. And so for me, again, the return on investment of saying, let me spend $80,000 or $100,000 on basically a larger hotel room, apartment, let me just buy that and own it. I'm getting an instant ROI because I might spend $5,000 or $6,000 on hotels staying in Belgrade in a year. So, $5,000 into $80,000 is not a great return, but it's something. Okay, and at least, and maybe that property goes up in value. I'm not sure in Belgrade that it does, but that would be the Tier C business base. Where are you spending your time for business, where you can get an ROI based on your own use? Now, unlike the Tier A business base, where unlike the Tier A main homes, where you've got all your stuff and you've got your teapot the way you want, and you've got all your favorite teas, a business base is just going to be, again, kind of like a hotel room with a few extra features, okay? Might be a little bit bigger than a hotel room. Maybe it's 45, 50 meters. But the goal is just, you're going there. Even if I have a family, I'm probably going there alone. I'm going Monday through Friday, and then I'm coming back to my main base, right? In this case, in Montenegro. And so it's a way to get a return on investment and just build your portfolio so that you're not struggling with always having to find a hotel and just having to deal with that. So in a business space, I might have a couple of business shirts, might have a pair of slacks, might have a pair of jeans, might have a t-shirt and shorts just for bumming around after work if I wanted to. And it's a way to invest in places where you do business. And I might actually rent that out or do Airbnb when I'm not there. I would literally set up a wardrobe. I'm doing my first Tier C deal. I'm working on it right now. I might literally set up a 3-part wardrobe and have one door that locks. And that's where my stuff goes. And okay, in that case, it might be worth it, especially if you have business interests there to help you. It might be worth it to rent that out. It might not. The last category is the Tier D investment base. This is a place where you would never live. This is either it's just a good investment or it's a residence or citizenship play, but you don't really want to live there, okay? And I'll let you decide which those places might be for you. So why all these places? Well, number one, operationally speaking for me, I've learned, number one, I don't want to deal with landlords. I don't want to rent. I want the flexibility to do whatever I want. And I don't want to be constantly changing. Okay? I don't want to rent a place for 3 months and then come back next year and just have to deal with what's going to happen. One of the biggest stresses I think nomads deal with is trying to find their next place to stay. And I've essentially eliminated that. The other big stress for me has been trying to figure out what you need to take with you. I've eliminated that. And on top of that, I'm getting an ROI because I don't want to give my money to Airbnb or Marriott or anybody else. I'm going to pay myself for my stays. The cool thing with any of these is you could get residence, you could get citizenship, so you've got all different kinds of properties you can use. Some of them will turn off cash, some of them will just support you in your lifestyle. So what I want to know is what your comments are on this. Leave a comment below. I know if you've been living this lifestyle, you've probably seen some of the things that I'm talking about. Maybe you've wondered, how to set this up. This is, for me, the result of 12 years of working through this, and something that I wanted to share with you. Would love to hear your comments. What have you struggled with, and what do you think about this Tier A, B, C, D approach of having homes around the world? Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist. I wrote this book, which you can find on Amazon, to distill a lot of the stuff we talk about in these videos and a lot of the stuff I've learned over the last decade plus traveling all around the world, teaching you about how to legally reduce your taxes, build your personal freedom, and create wealth faster. Definitely get a copy of this book if you want to learn more. Now, if you want to watch more videos, make sure you subscribe to our channel and make sure you click the notifications bell so you never miss one of our new videos with more tips on how to go where you're treated best. And if you're already a 6- or 7-figure entrepreneur and you'd like to put these strategies in place for yourself, go to nomadcapitalist.com and learn about how I can help you.